Hello and welcome to this week's Nature Chats video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you can hear me well. I forgot to bring the selfie stick out with me today, so hopefully the video won't be too wobbly. This video is entitled, Is it uncool to be kind? I think we've heard cruel to be kind, but this is it uncool to be kind? I've noticed myself in the past few years really of doing personal development, self-development, that there's an attitude of if someone isn't good for us then cut them out of our lives. But I think it's important for all of us to recognise that we're all going to have our bad days. We're all going to have days where we're not at our best, that we may let other people down and then we may hurt people. And so if we have those days ourselves, then surely we must extend compassion to others that are feeling that, and not just automatically feel that we have to cut people out of our lives because they're going through a bad time or a difficult time. Let's go for a walk. So it's kind of like this notion that, like, oh, if someone isn't acting in the way that we want them to, that we cut them out. And I don't think we should be really, this is my personal opinion, I don't think that's healthy for us. I don't think that aids our self-development or personal growth, because it doesn't display kindness, it doesn't display understanding and compassion, really. We meet people in our lives, whether it's a friendship or a relationship, and the reason for that, I feel, is growth, for the growth of ourselves, the growth of them, the growth of humanity. If we're only interested in what we can get out of a situation, let's find some shade, then it's not necessarily going to be very good for us in the long run, or other people, because that is that does kind of display selfishness, in the same way that some people might say, why do people get married? This is an example. And some people might say, well, you get married for love. But the truth is, if we get married for love, things can very quickly go wrong, because it's not to say we shouldn't love someone that we're getting married to. Obviously we should, that, but it doesn't, we don't have to marry them just because we love them. We marry them because we want to build a life with them. We want to build abundance, wealth, we want to build opportunity, we want to build foundations, we want to build intimacy, we want to build trust, we want to build security, we want to expand and help other people, and then we become a team. The same is in friendships. Why do we want to be friends with someone? Is it just because we want to get from the relationship, or is it because we want to build with those people, with our soul group or our tribe, or whatever we want to call it? So we just dismiss people and cut them out of our lives as soon as the going gets tough. Then we're really missing a very important part of what it is to be human, I believe, because it doesn't mean to say that if people are toxic or are really bad for us that we should keep them in our lives. That's totally different. I just mean, like, if there are blips in the road, if the relationship is a little rocky or just a bit tough, or we're finding it hard to connect or understand each other, our friends are making decisions that we don't necessarily agree with, or, you know, we all can make mistakes and we all don't get it right all the time. If we walk away, throw in the towel in every relationship, no matter whether that's romantic, friendship, or even with our families or work colleagues, if we just throw it all away at the first sight of something going, you know, wrong, are we being kind? Would we want someone to do that to us if we were going through a difficult time? Would we want someone to just disregard us based on the challenges that we're currently facing? I'm sure most of us wouldn't want that. We'd want people to step up and be supportive and be there even more for us. If we want to work on building connections with people, friendships, love, trust, and that keyword intimacy, if we want to build that, then we have to know that every day with people isn't necessarily going to be sunshine and roses, and we're going to have different opinions to our friends, to our lover, to our mother, father, sister, brother, auntie, uncle. But are we really going to throw meaningful relationships away because we can't handle the responsibility and the honour of nurturing those relationships? Again, I'm not talking about abusive or toxic relationships where there is emotional abuse or physical abuse. I'm not talking about that. In that case, yes, run a mile from those relationships, because they're not equal either. That's, you know, if we find ourselves in that position, that's us being taken advantage of and used. I'm just talking about when the going gets a bit tough, when it's a bit difficult to get through to someone, when someone's sort of like, and I've been guilty of this myself, I've had friends that have texted me and I haven't necessarily always felt they're in tune with me, so I haven't replied. But then is that me being kind? No, it's not. And that's something that I'm really working on myself, to do that, to reach out to people even if I don't feel like it, because that is what a good friend should be, you know. And we're all a work in progress. This isn't sort of preachy telling us, you know, what we're bad at and all this, but it's just a nature chat about things that have been going on in my mind. Is it uncool to be kind? Have we got into this self-development thing where it's like, cut them out? If they're not good for us, cut them out. If they annoy us on a Monday, cut them out. You don't have to wait until Tuesday. You know, it just seems to me disposable. People aren't disposable. People are souls, people are people, people are important. Connection is important. Let's not dispose of that. And let's not fear being disposed of ourselves. If we have fears around rejection, that's another thing I'm working through myself, fear of rejection. We don't have to fear being disposed of ourselves if we are with people and hanging out with people and spending time with people who also get kindness and also get that it is quite cool to be kind and it's not uncool to be kind. So I hope that you've enjoyed this week's Nature Chats. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just conscious of the time because sometimes this phone cuts out, and so if I just disappear, I apologise. We've got a little bit more time left, so I could just show you some of the scenery here. I'm down by the river, so it's really nice to sort of look at the ducks going past and the butterflies and just reconnect to nature. Having moved to a town, it's nice to come visit the greenery and really connect to this space. This is a space that makes me feel very comfortable, very in tune, very connected to the earth and to myself. And so that's why I like to do the nature chats outside, because I feel that we're connected through that as well. So I hope that you have a beautiful week. I hope to do another nature chats again soon. These are always unscripted and I never know what I'm going to talk about till I sit down. So I hope that it's been alright and it's made sense to you. But until we speak again really soon, I'm sending you so much love and many, many blessings. Alyssa.